Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I am joined by Jonesy and we are going to go through some of the top cheap best rares, goalkeepers may I add. So let's get into it.
Yeah, we'll start off with a goalkeeper that's recently joined the league in Austria. It's Nicholas Schmid. He's 26 years old, just signed for, well not signed for, I think he played for him for last season, but he's playing for Linz, not Lask, the derby team to Lask. If you look at his scores recently, the last 3 months, a pretty poor start to the season with like a score of 8 and 9 and 23, but in recent games, playing his last 6 or 7, he's at a 79, a 74, 69, 67, 63. And Linz just looked really good at home, keeping clean sheets in all of the last home games apart from, well, going back to the 19th of September. They kept a clean sheet in all of the last home games. So yeah, he's a bit of a home goalkeeper, but he looks ideal for anybody looking for a cheap starter goalkeeper to go into 240 rare. He's only £196. So yeah, it would be ideal for anybody that just wants to move into rare around about now.
Yeah, I've seen him as well. He's looking quite solid, 26 years of age. Again, so yeah, good age on him. He's not going to retire next year or something. Like you said as well, I'm not going to bother pronouncing the team, but Linz seems to be picking up some sort of form. Hopefully, I don't know where they are in regards to the league now. I'll bring it up now. They are sitting 9th at the moment, so they are slowly creeping up. Hopefully they stay out that sort of relegation point, but I think in the Austrian league, don't they split off into 2 groups? I think it is.
Yeah, they split off into a top half and the second half.
Yeah.
Is it 12 teams? The top 6 and bottom 6, and
Yeah,
they all play each other again. I don't think these will go down. I think it's between probably Altac and Tyrol.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Tyrol are really poor this season, really poor. I don't think they picked up a win yet.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, for £196 for a starting goalkeeper, yeah, he seems so. What's his L15? He hasn't even got an L15, it says on here.
But he's L5, it'll be 45, I think. We'll count his L15. Let me have a look, I might be able to pick it up. 43.6 is his L15.
43, okay, so 40,
Yeah.
43, 44, which is...
The only disclaimer on this guy is he's only got 3 more games before they break for winter, and they don't come back till the 10th of February. So it's more for people that want to enter rare in the new year. This is probably the perfect guy because his price is going to drop further because there's no game time.
Yeah, I think that's unfortunately the likelihood with most of these goalkeepers we're showing at the moment, because obviously, like you said, it is going to be the winter break. I don't even know if we might have a goalie or 2 who are carrying on, but I do employ everyone to make sure you do your own research, you know, because it's a lot of time, money and effort, so make sure you do your own research. And yeah, that's all I can say really. But yeah, that was a good shout, Jones, and they are going to have to wait after a few games till February after the winter break. So we'll pop into the next one, which is another one of yours. What we have done, guys, we've picked 5 goalies basically each, so that's how we're getting into it. So we're on to your next one.
Yeah, the next one is Marcus Kolk. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He plays for Hansa Rostock, who are, I think, around about 13th in the league. They're not doing too great this season. They were better near the end of last season. But yeah, it's another goalkeeper that can score consistently above 60. So you've got 3 scores above 60 there, and then you've got an AA score of 59 and a 48. He's down at £201. So again, it's around the same price as Nicholas Schmid. But his green or dark green scores have been coming in the last few games. So in his last 6, he's had 3 60-plus scores and 147 in there as Rostock look to try and turn the season around. But yeah, I quite like him. He has a small break and then a big break, which is a bit weird. So he breaks at game week 433 until 443, and then he has a game at 443 and 445, and then they break again until the 3rd of February. So I don't know if those game weeks are quite close together, and so rare data is just messing up for me. So it might just be a 5-week break instead of being a 3-month break like like Nicholas Schmid. But yeah, it's quite ideal if you want to keep playing and you don't want that extra 3-month break. He's probably more your sort of goalkeeper if you want to play for the Christmas period.
Yeah, that is a bit of a weird one there, the whole small and then larger break in between. But I guess you get a couple extra games than what you would with Schmid, Obviously, because Schmidt's out till basically February anyway, so you do get an extra 2-3 games on top of Culkin. So yeah, that seems a better reason to maybe pick him up over the other. But yeah, 200 quid's not too bad. He has got some good AA, like you said. Even in the 2-1 win, still conceding 34.7 AA is nuts for a goalie. So that is super solid. So he obviously can show he is AA capable. So yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, it's a little bit older, but it's probably more ideal for those more hardcore 240 rare players, rare teams that they want to keep going through the Christmas period and not have a massive break.
So you got your other goalie here then, mate. Your third pick, is it? Yeah, it is your third pick.
Yeah, my third one. And if people haven't noticed, we are just going up in price order. So we had Schmid at 196, Culkin at 201. Ali Barell comes in at £5 more expensive at £206. This is probably the best of the three, I would say, even though you're going to spend a little bit more. He doesn't break for Christmas, so you can use him all the way through the Christmas period. I think he breaks just after Christmas for around about a week, maybe two, which is perfectly fine for me. I have a Turkish league goalkeeper for that reason. So yeah, if you look at his scores, even when they do lose, either score or draw, and they've conceded, he does still put up 49, 54, 55, 52, 45, and obviously on clean sheet days, like against Hatayspor on game week 4-11. And well, actually the other 60 scores in a 1-1 draw as well. So they've only actually kept one clean sheet this season, and he scored a 72 in that. But yeah, he's very AA capable. His average is 12.1, which is great. And yeah, so he doesn't break for Christmas, so he's perfect. He's probably more perfect than Colk for anybody that's looking to play over the Christmas period. But he is capable of hitting those low scores as well. So if he does hit the low score, it'll just bring the L15 down. So at the moment it's at 47, which is, I think it's bang on what you want for the average. It's 47 or 48 you want an average per player for 240. So I think it's bang on where it needs to be at the moment. Obviously any high scores it'll spike, and anything low it'll go down. But yeah, he's probably my favourite one on the list, mainly for the Christmas and winter utility.
Yeah, that's a good one. Another solid shout, mate. It's yeah, £206. It's quite... Obviously, for just a half decent goalie this time, is you're talking what 350 plus, aren't you? Really, I'm not really into my rares, but from what I gather, yeah, it's about £350 or something for an average goalie. So now that we're showing the viewers and stuff, someone like this for £200, yes, he can have a stinker and whatever. Like you said, like his most recent game is 24. But again, because of the value of these sort of picks, you've got to be open-minded to the fact that obviously they are obviously going to have a stink every now and again. As you know, as well as obviously world-class goalies, they can sustain a bloody a low score as well. So it is good to pick a nice value pick like this one, Jonesy, because like you said, the AA score on it, and the fact that they've only kept one clean sheet throughout the whole season, obviously yes, it would be generally worrying, and you would probably stay far away from those sort of goalies. But the AA on this one, like you said, at 12.1 AA, which is a decent amount of AA for a goalkeeper. Just goes to show maybe he's just ran a very leaky crap defence, but he is putting up saves, smothers, clean, catches, etc. So he's doing his job, it looks like, or at least partly. But yeah, as we know, obviously you can have a rubbish defence and a great goalie and just concede a lot. So yeah, he does look solid, mate. At £200, I think it's well worth the pick. Even at limited price, no, it's not limited base. At £6.52. That's a brilliant cap 240 goalie right there. 47 L15 as well, so it's not too high. Yeah, it's a decent pick, mate.
Yeah, it's a very good price and limit as well. Yeah, he does have a couple of sweeper keepers, diving catch in that 60 game that he scored, where he did concede. So yeah, he's a nice AA goalkeeper for everyone.
So we're going to the next goalie, and I'm going to bring this guy up. Obviously, we both came up with this guy originally. Obviously, done our research and come across it. So that was the one we crossed over. It's the only one we crossed over, thankfully. So we don't have many duplicates or anything in here. But yeah, I'll let you talk about Berisha. You probably know a lot more than I do in regards to him.
Yeah, a little bit. He's international capability, which is fantastic. Yeah. I love that about goalkeepers when they play internationally. So he does play for Albania, who typically have been on a reasonable bout of form. 1-1 draw with Czech Republic, 2-0 win over Poland at home, which he didn't play in, but and they beat Czech Republic 3-0, which is a pretty good score, to be fair. He scored 85 in that game. But yeah, he's been on some form. He's moved recently to Empoli from Torino, I think it was. Yeah. I believe it's Torino. And he's been given the starting spot. He had a rough first game of the season, got beat 7-0 by Roma. But since then, he's been on great form. He got a 1-0 win against Salernitana, 62 score, 0-0 draw against Udinese, 70. He had that international game against Czech Republic for 85. And then recently, he's gone 2-0 win against Fiorentina, where he put up a 91.2. And then a 1-0 win away at Napoli, which is a huge score, and he put up a 97.
I think that's
really nice scorer.
That's got rid of the current Napoli manager now, hasn't it? I think that's Borussia might have put the last final nail in the coffin for that guy. So it looks like he's gone. So that's just some random news for you there. So it looks like Napoli are getting a new manager just for that very loss against Empoli. So you got Borussia to thank for that, Napoli fans. But yeah, again, I picked him the same reason you've picked him. You know, he's solid. He gets some decent, like some amazing AA when he keeps a clean sheet. What I've got here on the screen, I've got 22 against Inter, 16 against Bologna, 10 against Udinese, 24 against Czech, 31 against Fiorentina, 36 against Napoli. Yeah, he can put up some amazing scores, and I don't know if you feel probably the same way. Obviously, it's always nice to, if we come off the topic of goalies a bit, I love it when you see an attacker or a midfielder, rather than having to, you know, when they do score a decisive, it's quite frustrating when they only just score 60, because you just feel like, oh, if they just played a little bit better or something, you could have got 70, 80s, or, you know, closing in on that 100 mark. But it is quite frustrating where there is only a player who is AA capable, who is not AA capable, sorry, and can only be decisive capable. I'd much rather the other way around, and I'm sure you're the same as me. So yeah, it's nice to see someone who is both capable of doing both, and because when they do both, like you said, 85, 91, 97, he's hit this season. So yeah, it's really good. Got his chance from Torino, hasn't he? So, and he had a good game at the start. His first game was at home to Juventus, where he saved the penalty here as well. So again, obviously a goalie who can do it. So it's no mean feat to get all these. What's he averaging? 12.6 AA in the last 3 months and 19.5 in the last month. So yeah, he's in good. Looks like in good form. And against a team, I was pretty much favourites Empoli to go down. I mean, they are pretty much favourites again, 17th. But the fact that he's doing what he's doing with the AA. Or even if you bought this guy long term, you know, I know he's not the youngest of fellas, 34, but goalies tend to obviously go for longer. I'm not too sure the contract situation is for him, but he surely has another couple years if he's just recently signed for Empoli. And in which case, if Empoli do go down, you have a solid second division goalie right there as well. You don't have to worry about that either. So again, long-term utility. He's got the international utility, and he's the main goalkeeper doing extremely well and putting up stupid AA scores. So, yeah, really good, really good pick.
Very good. The only negative really to him is that 55 L15. It's not really ideal for cap game mode, so you'd have to use him in probably Champion Europe or cap 270 until that comes down. But no, yeah, really good. Even if he goes down, which you maybe kind of want to keep your fingers crossed that he does go down. No offense to Empoli fans, but. Yeah, that would be ideal having him in the second division, because I reckon Empoli will probably dominate. Yeah,
surely. And the keeper, doing what he's doing in the Serie A, you can only imagine what they might do in the Serie B. So, yeah, I'm excited for this one. It's definitely someone I'd be looking at if I come to Rares. Right, so we've got a weird pick here. The next one, it's a conjoined two. So I've chosen this particular two people because. For the price of them both is the price of one of these goalkeepers. Essentially, you're looking at what, £200 to £300. That's the margin sort of we've gone through, or gone for, I should say. So I've got here one of Martin Frazel, obviously Midtjylland backup goalkeeper at the moment, as what's his name, Lascelles, is currently out injured, which I'll pull up on screen now. It says he is. The injury is unknown, so we don't know how when he's going to be back, or if he's going to be back. But 34 years of age, he's £168 for him, whereas Frazel at the moment is at £97. So obviously, like quick maths, it's about 250 quid for the two. So now you know that you are safe I guess you can say, within regard, not unless Midtjylland did a fuckery and started using their third goalie for no particular reason. You're pretty much safe and sound that you've got a goalkeeper for the rest of the Danish Superliga, basically. So yeah, someone like that. In regards to his scores, yeah, he's an average scorer and whatever else. I think his last 3 he's done alright in. 52, 35 and 67 respectively. Obviously can keep a clean sheet. In regards to Midtjylland themselves, they are sitting 3rd in the table. So to get 2 goalkeepers for a team who are sitting 3rd, because I think Midtjylland had a very slow start to the season as well. I don't remember them doing all too well at the very start. So yeah, who knows? If you buy both of them and one goalkeeper does get the nod and he stays in goal, great. That one goes up, but the other one goes down. But you're still roughly in that sort of ballpark of what you would have paid for a goalkeeper. So yeah, I like the look of something like this. I think it looks. I don't think there's all too much risk with it. And yeah, I don't know what your takes on it, Jonesy, is.
Yeah, Midtjylland, they weren't doing too well at the start of the season. I just a quick look back at their scores because this one is your pick. Yeah, recently they've been winning a lot more games. Let's have a look. So 6 of the last 7 have all been wins with 2 clean sheets in there. So yeah, it's a solid idea to pick up the backup as well as the starter. I personally think after the winter break, because they do have a break again, they break soon as well. It's within the next 2 game weeks, I think. Then they come back on the 18th of February. I think Loss will be back by then and will most likely be starting.
Yeah,
it's a good price, £167.
Yeah, well, yeah, like it's £167 for him, but then again, the backup goalkeeper for 97. We'll never quite know because it doesn't say what his injury is. Again, do your research, guys. It might be something very minor, and in which case he could be back from in February. But it could be something major as well, which keeps him out for good. So yeah, you need to keep an eye on that and do your research. But yeah, for the 2 goalkeepers, I thought it was a nice little something like a shout. Frazel's not pulled up any roots or any trees like that. He's kept 1 clean sheet in the 3. Okay, AA is 17.9 at the start, but only really since he's been in, he's averaging 8.5, which again is maybe okay. But yeah, probably nothing. I think they would probably go back to Lossell. So yeah, but yeah, just to stay safe and sound, grab the both of them for a normal price goalkeeper. That's what you can do. So that is that one. Right, I've got Yvonne Mimvogo. I probably butchered that. I don't care. I'm not very good at this. You should know this by now. But I tried my best. So yeah, Swiss international, plays for Lorient in Ligue 1. I think he's a solid goalkeeper for when he does come around and plays really well. I think it was very much, who was it before? I think it was Berisha or somebody else. Can't remember who it was in the past one. But he pulls up good AA for what he's doing, especially in the last month. In the last month, he's pulling 20 AA, which is solid. And in the last 3 months, is 14.9. Within regards to Lorient themselves as a club in the league table, they're not doing well at all. They are sitting 16th. I think they did a lot better last season. I think they were somewhere mid-table. So they're obviously not doing or hitting any expectations or anything like that, or what's expected from them. But let's say they do have a stinker again, like Berisha. They go down, he goes to League 2. League 2. It's yeah, again, it would be something solid. I think he is the 3rd choice goalkeeper as well when it comes to Switzerland themselves, because I think it's who is it? It's let me just check that again.
Jan Sommer's the goalkeeper. I'm just checking that now as you were speaking. Jan Sommer's the goalkeeper. He's the backup, but obviously Jan Sommer's getting a bit older, so he might be taking the starting spot soon.
Yeah, it's Sommer, and who's the other one? The Borussia Dortmund one, isn't it?
Well, is it Omlin?
Cabell, there you go. So yeah, so obviously Sommer and Cabell. So again, not too sure who'd be Swiss's number 1, but he would definitely be the backup, I think, at least in the next year or so when Sommer does sort of drift away a bit more. But yeah, again, they come back game week 4-7. Obviously they're back in 4-9. Oh, I didn't know this, but the French league aren't away from that point as well. So they're in 4-7, 4-9, 4-3-1, 4-3-3.
Yeah, a small break.
Yeah, and there's a small little break of 4-3-4 to 4-4-1, which is, I'm assuming, probably around Christmas time.
Yeah, 3-week break's not too bad. That's really good, to be fair.
Yeah, which is not too bad at all. But yeah, 29 years of age as well, has a contract according to Sorare data on the June 30th, 2024. So basically another 6 to 8 months left on his contract, but he seems a solid enough goalkeeper to stay within the league or go elsewhere. So again, I think shouldn't really be too scared maybe about that. But in regards to his pricing, he's averaging around that 270, 260 mark, it looks like. So again, I think that's a solid shout for a goalkeeper of his sort of stature at the moment, if you will.
Yeah, he's really good. Even if he does leave, I can't see him going anywhere outside of Europe and, well, maybe Saudi, but I doubt it. Yeah, I think he's going to be staying in the top division league as well.
Yeah.
One of the top 5 leagues.
Yeah.
So this guy got picked up for me because based off, I think it was Ruben Kazan's recent form. They've kept clean sheets in all of the last 5, and I think it's 6 out of the last 7 they've had clean sheets. If I'm not wrong, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, correct,
6 out of the last 7 they've kept clean sheets, and they've beaten teams that they were coming up against bar 1. Yeah, the clean sheets are quite good because they've been keeping against like CSKA Moscow. They did get beat by Ruben Kazan in that time, but they kept clean sheets against Fakul, Grozny, Ural, Sochi. So yeah, in all those games he's been putting up close to 70 in 3 of them, and then mid-60s in the other 3. So yeah, he's a pretty solid goalkeeper. He doesn't offer too much in AA. If you see, he only offers 5.2 AA in his last 3 months. Is it any better at home? It's worse at home, to be honest. But yeah, he's got some favourable fixtures. He's playing Fakul again. I think that's how you say their name. He's expected a 57. Dynamo Moscow, he's still expected a 49, even though I would say they're probably one of the better teams in the league, if I remember right. And then he's playing Baltica. Might have butchered that. Yeah, there's a 54. But again, these guys have an extra long break. It's like Austria. Russia break fairly soon. Within the next 2 game weeks is their last one, and then they don't come back until the 3rd of March. So it's an extra long game break. Game break. But this guy should drop in that time. And if he drops to around, what's he now, 270? If he drops to 200, he could be a really good pickup. Especially with the form Kazan are in.
Agreed.
I think he's going throughout the next year. You could pay that threshold off before the end of the season. Pay that price off the threshold before the end of the season. So yeah, he's one that I quite like. An L5 for 70 is crazy. You know.
Yeah.
L15 is only 47, so you don't really have to worry about that unless he does keep going on with his form, which you kind of want and don't want at the same time. A couple of bad games wouldn't hurt with this guy to keep his L15 down for cap mode. But yeah, he's a player that I really like. I've been looking at him myself. If he comes down over that break, I'd probably pick one up myself.
Yeah, definitely. He does look solid, to be fair. Like you said, it's weird that he's better away than he is at home. Which is really weird for on average, the normal average player loves it at home, but this guy seems to love it away. But in which case, hopefully, like you said, because he's got a long break till March, which is ridiculous, by the way. The same with the Austrian League. I don't know how long they need off, but 3 months or whatever it is was nuts. But yeah, hopefully he does. Sounds bad, but hopefully he does have some stinkers in the last 2-3. Because if he does do that, and then there's a break, he might be below 200. People might as well lose faith in them, I think. In which case, probably panic selling, and then trying to buy a new keeper for the players who are playing within the break that Russia are having. I can only see this going a bit further down, and the scores he's pulling are ridiculous. When he keeps a clean sheet, it's good. AA wise, 5.2 in the last 3 months, 10.2 in the last month. So yeah, not too shabby. 3 months, like I said, a bit stinky, but 10.2 in the last month. So yeah, very solid, very solid. So I do like that look. 6
clean sheets in the last 11 games. You can't really complain. So over half his games he's got clean sheets in, so you get a 60+ score for 6 out of 11 games. Not bad at all, really.
Even his highest score against Ural, a yellow card, and still getting 77.4. Which is solid as well. So yeah, I like this guy quite a lot, the Russian maestro here. It looks good. Which I'm going to go, so obviously this guy's 35, right? I'm going to go swing to the other side, and I'm going for Emre Bilan, who is 19. Youthful product that Fatih have got. Basically, the long story short with these guys, De Tiro, who is I think he's like 35 or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jonesy. I don't know if you know how old he is, De Tiro.
Not sure.
Right, you know what? I'm gonna quickly check because I don't want to give people wrong information. Yeah, he's 36. So De Tiro is 36, and in which case this guy's just come in. I think De Tiro was just recently injured and he was out for a couple of weeks, and this guy has filled in that void since he's been gone. Now De Tiro's been back from injury, and yet this guy's still starting. And from what I can gather from fans on Twitter and even the expert I've seen on Play Sharper, they said, if he played the game against Sivasspor, then I believe he's going to be the starter for the rest of the season, basically. And in which case, obviously, he started, and yet again, he's kept a clean sheet. So there's no reason for Fatty to keep him out when they've got a more youthful player in goal who seems to be playing a lot better than De Tiro. De Tiro is obviously on the back end of his career at 36. I know maybe we've got another year or 2 or 3 left in him. Maybe not this level, maybe slightly lower. But again, someone like this has got under 23 utility till July 1st, 2028. So I mean, you've got 5 years of utility, barring obviously he stays within the license leagues and whatever. But basically 5 years you can keep this guy for under 23. Yeah, which is ridiculous for a starting goalkeeper in the Turkish league as well. In regards to Fatih themselves, they are basically mid-table, sitting in 12th at the moment, but they obviously been picking up more points ever since this guy's come in and helped them basically get 3 out of 4 clean sheets. One of the goals they conceded was away from home at Konyaspor, who are no mean feat at home. They're solid at home. And the home games that he's kept is Trabzonspor and Adana Demirspor. Yeah, where he picked up 20.8 AA against Adana. So this guy looks like he's going to be really good, really solid. I probably, like he said as well, extra utility in regards to obviously the winter break. I mean, he plays throughout it. I don't know if they have a break anytime soon or anything like that, but again, I don't think they do. So in which case you can just pick this guy up and use him from day dot and carry on using him. And at £278, yes, he's 70 quid more than Culkin or whoever else we've named in this list, but for the utility you're getting from this guy, and you can use him throughout the season and not have to really worry about any breaks coming up in recent months coming. Yeah, I think it's just solid. I really do. They obviously got Fenerbahce at home. Fenerbahce away, which might help bring his L15 away down further, or he might just pull an absolute stormer again and keep a clean sheet against him, which is unlikely, of course. But still, someone like this at 19, I think is a great shout, my friend.
Yeah, it's like Bilal Bayezid 2.0, isn't he?
Yeah.
The version.
Yeah.
Even though Bayezid is only 24. I was trying to get him in this list, but I think he came in at like 360 quid, and it's just far too much for budget goalkeepers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like Bilgin. He's someone that I'm tempted to pick up. As long as he keeps holding down at starting spot, his price will keep going up. I'll probably misses a couple of games. Maybe a small drop of 2 games would be nice. He comes back down in price.
Problem is, I guess if he starts dropping form, then obviously De Tiro might come in. So yeah, you've got to be. That is your waiver. I guess that's your warning. Everyone out there who is looking for a goalkeeper, we don't know the ins and outs of it all, but like I said, from what I gathered, it looks like he's been replaced. It looks like De Tiro's been replaced by this young lad here. So, but yeah, who knows what's going to bring in the future? £11 as well, by the way, for limited as well, which is again solid for a goalkeeper. I know it's not dirt cheap, but again, for someone who's under 23, I think it's very solid.
Yeah, I really like him. I said to you off stream that I might pick him up if he drops, so he's one of my favourites on the list. I think him and Ali, Barell and Berisha are my 3 favourite picks.
Yeah.
Because obviously no winter break is ideal, and this guy's under 23 and doesn't have a winter break. It's perfect. He's scoring well, really well. Lacks a little bit in AA, but he does have a big spike there of 20. Yeah, I like him. I really do. It's somebody I bought a load of Fatih players for the winter break, but obviously I can't get the goalkeeper. But Yeah, I like him. If he comes down in price, there's definitely someone that I would definitely pick up. When he's 19 years old, you could sit on him and wait for him to definitely secure the starting spot, or he might already have it.
Yeah,
We don't know yet.
that is the risk you run, I guess. But I don't know. You will know, Jonesy, obviously, of course. But typically, how much are under 23 goalies going for, especially someone of 19 years of age?
I think goalkeepers, it's not really dependent on who they are, it's dependent on who they play for. So let's say Bilgin played for Galatasaray and he's just locked down the starting spot, you're looking at maybe 1,000, possibly more for him, maybe a bit more actually. But yeah, it's more about who they play for, because obviously defence is, your goalkeeper's only as good as his defence lets him be.
Yeah.
And there's only so much a goalkeeper can do, when the defence is actually going to do something.
Agreed.
You can have a quick look actually. I'm going to have a quick look on the scout. Yeah, I'll tell you if there's any ones that we recognise.
We will be right back, guys, and we'll let Jonesy do his little scout, and we'll be back in a second.
So yeah, they got some there. So Christian Fruchtel, who's the Austrian Vienna goalkeeper, he's 23 though. He's 350. He's a pretty good goalkeeper. Austria Vienna, really good.
Yeah.
They got the big break though. Leo Roman, you'll be familiar with. I think Ellie said he played a few hundred for him, maybe even a couple hundred, and he's almost tripled in price.
Yeah, he's solid.
Here you go. Here's one that was more going to use as an example. So Diogo Costa is the Porto goalkeeper. He's up at 1,110. He's also the Portugal starting goalkeeper as well. But yeah, he's at a massive price at the moment. He's probably one I was trying to use as an example. I think Bilgin will probably move to a bigger team in the summer, or like my buyers, it hopefully move to a bigger team in Turkey in the summer. And that's what's gives you a price spike really, is who they play for and if they got international utility more than like how they're actually doing.
Yeah, of course. Well, we're obviously going off this in the sense of obviously his SO5 scores. I'm not claiming I've seen this guy play. I'm not claiming that he's like a world class like Neuer or something like that. Back in his heyday. All I'm saying is right now his SO5 scores aren't something to really shy away from. AA scores, yes. I mean it's a little on the low side, but he can show that he can get some good scoring matrix through the 20.8 against Adana, who are quite a good attacking team as well. So when it comes to that, yeah, he's obviously showing his potential, and if he does stay, got a starting spot here, a team like Fatih, if somebody comes in calling, even if it's like a Galatasaray or something like that, who Muslera is like obviously getting old now. I don't know if they have any backup options or whatever. Again, don't know the ins and outs. But again, someone like this gets snapped up by those sort of teams all the time. We see it time and time again. Not just goalkeepers, obviously outfielders in general. When they do well within the league, they always usually get snapped up by the better teams within that league. So yeah. I can definitely see that happening with someone like this. If he carries on this sort of run of form and does get this, get the playing time,
Gets 4 years of under 23 utility. 4 years, that's a long time. Yeah, that's a long time. But yeah, it's really good pick up, that one.
So we're going to go on to the last pick, and I think we'll both talk about this one because although it's my pick again, of Stojanovic, Dejan. Obviously solid goalkeeper in regards to obviously his AA. He saves a lot for a team that concedes a lot. He's got some good running games, it looks like, coming up in the next two. Storm's going to be a hard game, but then obviously again they got that long winter break, which is back basically early Feb, which sucks a bit. But if you can see from his scores here, the lowest score he's got was 31, and that was in his most recent game, funny enough, when I picked him up. But otherwise, he got a last man tackle again. So he just seems to do something. So he doesn't want to be in the Reds. Basically, is how this guy goes about his career. Just AA capable. Was he in the last 3 months 14.9? In the last month it's 12. So he's gone down a bit. For the last 6 months 17.1. So again, that just goes to show his sort of consistency that this sort of goalkeeper offers. So yeah, I really like this guy, and you can see here as well in regards to the team he plays for, Altach. Yes, they did lose 5-1 to Tyrol. That goes to show how crap they are. They are sitting 10th place as well, so it's always difficult for him.
Yeah, I think he's safe. I don't think he's going down. Like I said, did I say it was between? Did I say it was? No, he might be going down. But I think Tyrol are in a worse spot than Altach. like I say, and that's their first win of the season, I believe, for Tyrrell, and we're halfway through. I like him. Stojanovic, he's good. He was played for Jan Regensburg last season, who actually got relegated as well. So that's interesting if he goes down again this season. But he never played a game. He was constantly on the bench or outside of the squad. So Altec picked him up, and he's putting up some pretty solid scores. You know, a couple of mid-80s in there, high 70s, low 70s, high 60s. And then, like you said, even when he doesn't keep a clean sheet or he maybe has a worse game, it's still a 45, 41. Still keeps you in the hunt for a threshold. The only downside to him is his L15 is 61, which is quite crazy. I don't think he plays for a good enough team to use him in Challenger Europe, but I also don't think the L15 is too high to use him in Cap. So the only option you probably would have with him would be Cap 270.
And we've already said our thoughts on Cap 270 and long format competitions, which if you haven't, guys, make sure you check out All Around Sorare podcast, which me, Jonesy and Ellis are all a part of. But that is the end of the video, my guys. So we've got obviously my Twitter at Capital Sorare, and obviously we've got Sorare Jonesy right here as well at Sorare Jonesy. There, easy enough, unlike Ellis's one. But like I said, guys, check the All Around Sorare podcast, and we are trying to upload once a week. So make sure to check that out to get our insights on everything, all the updates on Sorare, players in general, how to go from limited to rares, and everything in between. So thanks, Jonesy, mate, for coming on. It's been a pleasure again having you, my friend.
Thank you, mate. Thank you for having me on again. Hopefully we'll get another one of these in before Christmas.
Definitely, we'll have to do some sort of Christmas winter edition, which would be really nice. Hopefully maybe we can even do something in the winter break to see if there's anyone really cheap, outfielders and goalkeepers, that are worth picking up, so that when it comes to February or March, depending on the league, that they can pick them up and hopefully go up from there. So yeah, we could well do that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. This has been Sorare Capital. See you later. Bye bye.